Last Station by Ajith C. Herath. I discovered Ajith's writing in amongst my brother's papers. My brother who died 6 years ago, Hiran Jayasundera, and it was written in his handwriting, and it was signed Pratap, and I felt very sort of compelled to find out about Pratap and about Ajith, who had composed the original Sinhala poems. After doing a bit of searching amongst his friends, I discovered that Pratap was in fact my brother Hiran, who was writing under a pseudonym. And he had translated Ajith's poems to English and to German, and bear with me while I try and wrangle this bit of old machinery. Ajith says of himself, I said to him to write a little biography about himself, because nobody in Sri Lanka knows much about Ajith. And there is a lady here present who is a friend of his, who actually introduced my brother to him. So Ajith says of himself, I was born in Martale, learned in 8 different schools in 12 years. The last school was Martale Science College. My mother is a retired teacher, and my father was a principal. And then Francis Harrison, who wrote a book of poems, who collated lots of writings and poems from Sri Lanka, says of Ajith. Ajith, also Sinhalese, was born in 1967 and became involved in student politics during the JVP uprising in the 80s in the south of Sri Lanka. He was arrested by the military in 1989 and tortured, witnessing terrible brutality. Losing most of his friends during that period of history, he learned to express his loss through poetry as a way of overcoming his own pain. While held in jail for almost 3.5 years, he wrote passionately and prolifically. His poems were frequently published in the alternative media in the first half of the 90s, and he became one of the leading poets of his generation in the South. He is also a painter, political cartoonist, and political analyst who worked as a journalist until he was forced into exile in 2008, when the civil war was reaching its denouement. Ajith received a scholarship and stayed at Bull University in Germany, affiliated to Heinrich Bull Stiefel, as a guest writer from May 2009 to January 2011. His poem, 7 Dreams, blurs what happened in the past in the South with the recent killing of Tamils in the North, to show how it was the same army that conducted atrocities, first against an uprising by a youth movement, and then towards a minority. So that's an introduction to Ajith C. Herath. And this poem is called The Last Station. Please don't be fazed by my high-tech prop. We'll see what it's there for. A watch worn by a passenger perished in the train wreck by the tsunami at Ferreira had stopped at 9:25 a.m.
දුම්රිය තව මොහොතකින් යලි ගමන් ආරම්භනු ඇත. සියලු මගීන් නැවත තමන්ගේ නියමිත මැදිරිවලට පැමිණෙන්න. ගමනාන්තය දක්වා සෑම දුම්රිය ස්ථානයකම නවත්වනු ඇත.
Does someone turn back time from 9:25 a.m., bidding the enraged dark waves to return to some unseen abyss, long away from the shore? As a telephone ceaselessly rings, unanswered, at the last station, before death. Time has stopped with a train between the waves and a graveyard, an indelible print of eternal regret. Laughter and banter still seem to echo with the dying notes of a blind beggar's fiddle as a child is looking steadily towards the far horizon. After that moment, no further chatter, only the interminable search. Mine for my dead, yours for your dead. You must be careful where you step. As bodies are laid out, one false move, even a diary beneath your feet, may weep in pain. The mechanical arm of a JCB digs deep through the hearts of the undead, searching for their departed souls with each breath.